10.
How are we going to kind of reestablish that trust and faith, Postmaster General, in rural delivery?
It's a story you heard first from Valley News Live. People living in a section of South Fargo, many of them still getting mail that isn't theirs. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Well, our stories and complaints from those impacted made it all the way to Washington, D.C., where today North Dakota U.S. Senator Heidi Heitkamp questioned the U.S. Postmaster General about fixing the chronic delivery problems and establishing more reliable service across North Dakota and the nation.
Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker has more from the heated discussion.
How are we going to kind of reestablish that trust and faith, Postmaster General, in rural delivery when in rural America they just think that they've lost a whole lot of quality?
Senator Heitkamp didn't hold back while questioning U.S. Postmaster General Megan Greenan, using the mail mix-up people continue to have in South Fargo as an example of problems people across rural America are facing with their mail.
What's being delivered to your neighbors right now? Your W-2s, right? Confidential information, 1099s, tax data and information that contains some of the most private information other than your medical information, your financial information.
Back in December, we told you about the frustrations in the Woodhaven neighborhood. We learned this was an issue impacting not only that neighborhood, but many others and even some businesses. Michelle Tomte works at one of those businesses in South Fargo.
We get checks in the mail every day. We get bills in the mail every day that we need to pay. Sometimes bills are postmarked 2 weeks before we actually get them.
Tomte believes someone needs to reconsider the rural mail classification for the ever-growing residential and commercial area in South Fargo.
I think it's expanding so fast where they cannot keep up maybe with some standard mail carriers, but we are definitely not rural, and it's expanding, another 2 to 3 miles south of where we work right now. There has to be some changes somewhere.
And those changes will start from the top, according to the U.S. Postmaster General.
Financial stability does support those service efforts. We are committed and look forward to continue to working with you on these issues.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
We reached out but didn't get a response from Fargo Postmaster Greg Johnson. We wanted to know if there's some sort of performance clause in the contracts with the mail carriers causing the problem in Woodhaven. Senator Heitkamp's office says this is an issue she will continue to press until the problems are fixed.
A man is in the hospital tonight after crews responded to a call of a person either jumping or falling off the 45th Street overpass. Fargo police say the victim was seen walking in the area. He was not hit by traffic and injuries are currently unknown. The incidents caused traffic to temporarily back up on the eastbound lane. Continue to stick with Valley News Live and valleynewslive.com for updates on this story.
Investigators have released an updated description of the man and vehicle from the Rothsay State Bank robbery last week. After a closer look at bank footage, it's believed the vehicle they're searching for is a 2007 or newer Cadillac Escalade. As far as the robber, they now say that they're looking for a person with darker skin tone, but say the race is still unknown. The bank was robbed at gunpoint last Tuesday. A gun was pointed at the teller as the robber demanded money. If you know anything, contact the Wilkin County Sheriff's Office.
What does NDSU have that 99% of other programs don't? If you said championships, you might be partially right, but we're talking about something else. It's live animal labs for trauma training. The Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine put up this billboard alerting people that live pigs are going to be used as Sanford and NDSU partner up to teach emergency medical procedures. This type of training includes cutting into live, sedated pigs, which are then killed after the procedures. And NDSU is only one of 2 programs in North America still training this way.
And with this being only one of 2 left in the U.S. and Canada that are doing it, I think it's time for a change. I think it's time to go with the rest.
But if it's possible to be done on dummies, I guess that's probably the way to do it, huh?
If it's helping research, I think there's justification in that for educational purposes, especially if advancements are taking place.
Sanford Health and NDSU say their program meets all federal guidelines.
With the dire situation going on with the water supply in Flint, Michigan, it makes a lot of us wonder about the water we use.
Water is a vital part of our daily lives. However, many may know very little about the water they use every day. Valley News Team's Ivana Simic gives us some more information about this important part of our lives.
Most of us don't think about the water we drink. We turn on a tap, fill a glass, and drink. But some are stopping to think twice.
I'm pretty concerned with it because, well, I guess that's our lifeblood right there is water. And a lot of us probably really don't even know what we are drinking in our water. The more that I know about what I'm drinking and consuming, the better that I feel.
With the water problem that's happening in Michigan, where tap water reportedly contains high amounts of lead, we wanted to get answers about the water we consume. According to the Department of Health, the drinking water in North Dakota is well above the target that the EPA sets.
Not only does North Dakota have 97% of its population that gets, water that meets the Safe Drinking Water Act standards, we have 97% of the communities have effective treatment in those plants, and they have source water protection, which protects that groundwater or surface water before it even gets to the water plant.
Every year, each city in the state does a report on the quality of the water. That way people know what's coming out of their tap.
They are required to pass that report out to their customers, yes. And part of that can be you can put it online as a second option. You have to make every effort possible to get them the report.
From city to city, the water will look, taste, and smell different because of varying levels of minerals in the water. But the health department recommends using water softeners and purifiers to help with that, so you can be confident that what's going into your glass is clear and safe. Yvonne Simic, Valley News Live.
If you'd like more information on your city's water quality, go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. And clean water is on the way to Flint, Michigan from right here in North Dakota. Over the past few months, Flint made headlines for dangerous levels of lead in the water. C&D Water Services in Williston, North Dakota is sending a semi-truck load of water to help the Michigan community. The owners are Flint natives and have many family and friends that still live there. They're sending more than 1,000 4-gallon bottles of water to do what they can to give back to their hometown. The water will be sent out on Saturday. The two also own Williston's Little Caesars and are planning on donating next week's proceeds to help Flint's ongoing crisis.
In Minnesota, the Governor Mark Dayton and legislative leaders don't agree on the need for a special session. It's been more than 2 months since the governor raised the idea to extend unemployment benefits for laid-off steel workers. Also in the mix are tackling racial economic disparities and upgrading Minnesota's driver's license to meet federal standards. Governor Dayton and the Senate Majority Leader are aiming to call lawmakers to an emergency meeting by early February.
The 4th of July fireworks display in Moorhead is back on. That's all thanks to community donations and a fundraising campaign by the Moorhead Business Association. The fundraising efforts began shortly after MSUM announced they would no longer hold the old-fashioned 4th of July celebration. MBA says the fireworks display will still take place at MSUM. They will also organize a committee to make and carry out the plan. They also say they'll continue the fundraising effort in hopes the fireworks display will continue to be an annual event. Now, if you want to donate, you can. Go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
Construction is moving along at Sanford Health in Southwest Fargo. The new hospital is still on track to open sometime in 2017. Here's a quick look at all the progress. This time lapse shows the progress in building the 11-story, 1 million square foot facility. This $494 million project is one of the largest private industry construction projects in the history of the Dakotas. If you want to take another look at this time lapse, it's posted on our website and on our Facebook page.
Valley News.